our last video together here on a Friday. And this next one is arithmetic sequence. So a lot of students ask, well, why is this in Unit 3 if we're talking about relations and functions? Because this arithmetic sequence is a really, really cool function. And it can help you identify any term in a sequence of numbers if it's an arithmetic sequence. So let's define it first. What is an arithmetic sequence? An arithmetic sequence is a sequence in which the difference between any two consecutive numbers is constant. Okay, so we'll look at what is an arithmetic sequence and what is not an arithmetic sequence, but let's talk about it first. Okay, so what is the definition of a common difference? It is the numerical difference, which we are going to label D, the numerical difference D between any two consecutive terms. Okay. So pause the video, take a second to write that down. So that's big definitions there. All right, now let's look at identifying an arithmetic sequence. So this is what I mean by consecutive terms, one right after the other. But first we have to see, if it's an arithmetic sequence, then the difference between these terms will always be the same. So if I go from 1 to 5, it's adding 4, it's adding 4, it's adding 4. So bam, it's an arithmetic sequence because my common difference, D, is 4. So I would say yes, and then I'm going to identify D equals 4. That's that common difference. So look at number 3. I'm subtracting 2, I'm subtracting 2, I'm subtracting 2. It's the same. So yes, this is an arithmetic sequence, and my common difference is -2. Here I go, I'm adding 5, I'm adding 10, I'm adding 20. No, not the same. So no, it is not arithmetic sequence. And notice the word arithmetic. Arithmetic usually refers to adding and subtracting. So there is no multiplication. That means if it's something else, then that's not linear, which we are only doing with linear. All right, so let's look at number 2. I went out of order, 1 through 5. Number 2, I go add 2, add 2, add 3. Not the same, so no. -5 to -8 is -3. -8 to -11 is -3, -3. Yes, it is a common difference, and the difference is -3. Number 7, I subtract 1, I subtract 1, I subtract 1. So yes, and the common difference is -1. Okay, so that's what an arithmetic sequence looks like and what it doesn't look like. So now, you guys can do this on your own. It's how would you continue it, right? First, you recognize what the pattern is. So add 4, add 4, add 4, and then we're going to add 4 to get 25, 29, and 33. Okay, so that's recognizing those patterns, and I'm sure that you guys can do numbers 8 and 9. All right. So now, if we want to find the nth term, which means I could just throw out a number. I could say, hey, Bitten, I want you to tell me what is the 533rd term in this sequence. Well, you're not going to do this right here and go to the 533rd number in there. That's going to take way too long. Remember, we want it simple and fast. So there's got to be a formula, kind of like, when we talked about Brian and the hot dogs. There's got to be a formula to find a faster way how to get to that nth term. So I'm going to give you the formula, and then we're going to talk about what those terms mean. So your formula is this. AN equals D times N minus 1 plus A1. D, we know, is the common difference. And A1 is the first, that sub 1 means the first term in sequence. Okay? So, Sometimes I like to rewrite my formula with a commutative property because I think personally it makes more sense if we say that an equals a1 plus d times n minus 1, because that's the first term in the sequence, and we're adding the first term in the sequence times this, okay? But either way, commutative property, it doesn't matter. So technically that's my formula, but a1 is that first term. So we got to do a couple things like on number 10. First, we got to identify, one, is it an arithmetic sequence? So I say, okay, so go from 7 to 13, I'm adding 6, I'm adding 6, I'm adding 6. Yes, it's an arithmetic sequence. My common difference is 6, and my first term in the sequence is 7. So now, because I have a formula, I want you to write the formula. Yes, Carter, I want you to write it every single time. So, if I give you 555 arithmetic sequences, how many times do I want to see that formula? 555. So, I'm going to write out my formula, an equals d times n minus 1 plus a1. And now I can just evaluate. I can plug in some numbers and we're going to solve it. So, the instructions are actually written over here. It says write the rule for the nth term, then find the 19th term. That's what that A sub 19 means. It's the 19th term. So there's two things I'm looking for. I'm looking for the rule, and then I'm looking for that, the 19th term. Don't just give me the 19th term. I want it all. You follow me, Andrew? Okay, here we go. So I'm looking for the 19th term. So I'm going to say, you can say A, but I want my rule first. So an equals, hand away. All right, so the common difference is 6, n minus 1 plus 7. I'm going to distribute out and simplify. So I get 6n minus 6 plus 7. And so an equals 6n plus 1. All right, so this is my rule. That's my rule. You must have it. Now, to find the 19th term, I'm going to plug in 19 for n. And I get, so a 19th is going to equal 6 times 19 plus 1. Well, 6 times 20 is 120, minus 6 is 1, hang on, 6 times 20 is 120, minus 6 is 113. So 113 plus 1 is going to give me, that's 114. 114 plus 1, and that's going to give me 115. So the 19th term in the sequence is 115. Okay? All right, we're going to do one more together, and then I'm going to let you guys practice that on your own. We'll do number 12. Okay, we'll do number 12. So I want to do a subtraction one. All right, I guess we'll do number 11. We'll stick to number 11. I'm going to expand that to 125. Actually, no, I'm going to expand that to 150. Okay, so number 11, is it arithmetic sequence? Remember, that's the first thing. So I subtract 4, I subtract 4, I subtract 4. So, bam, it's an arithmetic sequence. The difference is negative 4, and the first term in the sequence is 30. Okay, so my formula, yes, I'm going to write down my formula again, Sam, and it's an equals, I'm going to put a1 first, plus the common difference times n minus 1. Right, so that's what my formula looks like. And now I'm going to plug some things in to find my rule, because this is a two-part question. Find my rule, then the 19th term. So an equals 30 plus, actually it's just minus negative 4, so 30 minus 4, and then n minus 1. So I'm going to distribute that out, 30 minus 4n plus 4. When I simplify, my rule is negative 4n plus 34. So that is my rule, negative 4n plus 34, right? Oh, you know what? Shoot. I lied to you about the formula, and I can't go back and edit this video, so I apologize, but I wrote down my formula wrong. It's n plus 1. So I can hear the groans, Rory. I can really hear Rory groaning now. Okay, so, sorry. AM equals 30 minus, you're going to kill me, but I'm not there, minus 4 times N minus 4, okay? N plus 1, what am I doing? N plus 1, okay, pause it and then just whatever, that's it. So now when I write my rule, I get 30 minus 4N minus 4, and my rule is negative 4N plus 26. Okay, that's it, that's it. Now, that's the first piece, and now to find the second part, I'm looking for that 19th term. So my 19th term, I'm just going to plug in negative 4 times 19 plus 26, and when I do negative 4 times 19 plus 26, you're going to get negative 42. So the 19th term is negative 42. And that's how we do arithmetic sequences. So do a couple on your own with Miss Patterson's guidance. Like I would do number 14 and 15. And maybe if you get all those right, she gives you $50, $25 each. Okay, so same thing here on the word problem. So if I'm looking at this word problem on number 16, can I still do a formula? You visit the Grand Canyon and drop a penny off the edge of the cliff. The distance the penny will fall is 16 feet for the first second, 48 feet the next second, 80 feet the third second, and so on. So is there an arithmetic sequence here? Well, let's look. 16 for the first one, 48 for the second one, 80 for the third one. So when I go from 16 to 48, my difference is 32, and 48 to 80 is a difference of 32. So there's a pattern here. So now, if I want to write a formula to represent this sequence, my common difference is 32. The first term in the sequence is 16. So now I'm going to write my formula correctly. I'm going to write my formula, and I am going to say, I don't want to screw up my formula. Yeah, it is N minus 1. Okay, so my formula is D times N minus 1 plus A1. There's my formula. So the common difference is 16. No, it's not. No, it's not. The common difference is 32. Stop talking. I can hear y'all. The common difference is 32. N minus 1 plus 16. So I have 32N minus 32 plus 16. So my rule is 32N minus 16. So that is my rule. And then the question's asking, how far will the penny have traveled after 6 seconds? So the term in the sequence is 6. So I'm going to use 32 times 6 minus 16. And the 6th term in that sequence is that it will fall 176 feet. And it's a word problem, so you're going to write that in a sentence form, okay? So the penny will drop 176 feet, or fall 176 feet. Okay, so you can look that over, and you guys are good to go. That is your lesson for Friday. Hope you're having a great time. I'll see you Tuesday. Bye.